Again, Shazada here. Today we'll be talking about Hermes Agent, what it is. It's like a self-improving agent which has a persistent memory. So what it does is like if you try to give it a command, or it will sort of remember it, right? And it has like one, you can connect with the different LLMs. You can use your local ones using Ollama. You can put Gemma, then anything you have, right? There's a Hermes one as well. But then there are other options as well which you can do. I'll show you in a second. PowerShell. So we're gonna do that. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. It took a while. Yeah. So as you can see, I have different versions of already downloaded. Similarly, you can download these ones in your local machine, and then you can switch the model depending on your needs, right? Some models will be better with coding, some with interactions, things like that. So just it depends on your needs as well. Anyways, so one, you can connect with different LLMs, and this will the brains, right, of the agent itself, and then this will be like the layer on top of it, which you will be using to interact with, send commands, ask things like that, right? One thing I've noticed, like almost everybody who is recommending this, they usually tell you to get like a VPS of sorts. For a starter, you don't need that. There's no point of like trying to buy a subscription. Usually they say, yeah, get this subscription for like 1 year, 2 years, especially for beginners, because I can see like a lot of people, I just got recently into AI as well. So because mostly our interactions are with ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, or I use Chat LLM. So there are different things you can use already. But if you want something which you want to run locally, and then it manages, like in my instance, because of our Proxmox server, and it had different containers, VMs, I wanted to manage it. Then later on, we improve or increase its access what it can. Then you can give it access to mail, but don't never start with like giving full access, right? Take step by step. First, give read access only. Then you see, okay, how it is behaving. Can it actually like update appointments, create appointments, keep an eye on that, give you like a summary of sorts, right? And then later on, if you think, okay, it is quite decent, then you can manage it. Then like if it is like after setting up, everything is working properly, you can create a GitHub repo. Then you just start like a cron job, right? So you tell it to regularly update itself, so it creates a backup. So in case you lose your agent, you can just do a quick recovery of your backup itself and just restore it from there. Anyways, so this is the agent. So like the easiest way is you can go to the Quickstarter page, and then you can just run that script. You can run it on Windows, you can run it on Linux, it doesn't matter, and it will install the agent for you, right? But the thing is, because this, as I said, it's like a layer, right? But you do need a brain. So there are two ways you can connect. One, you can use OpenAI or any other sorts of like a cloud-based LLM, which you can connect with this, and then it will use that to interact with you. Other option is you run locally. Benefit, everything you're running, it's internal. You won't, you're not exposing anything. So all the data, whatever you want to do, it's local. It's on your machines. But because you're running local, just keep your expectations at that point, because we don't have like a data center running with hundreds and thousands of GPUs, right? So you will have a 4060, 4070, 50, if you're lucky on 90 series card, right? So because when you're running like a AI of any sorts, right, it is heavily dependent on your VRAM itself. So when you're installing, like downloading models, you just keep that in your mind, because you want to have like let's say if the model is using 8 to 10 gigs of RAM, then you can run that on your GPU, depending it has that RAM. Even if it doesn't have that RAM, you can run it, but it will be slower. It's like old days. Your data is on your RAM, but if your RAM is not enough, then it will fall over to your hard disk, which is quite slow compared to the RAM. So same thing is happening. That's the easiest way to explain it. Anyways, how to install it. I usually use community scripts, because most of the configuration is already done, right? So if you do want to configure, you can do it from here, but I just find it easier than doing it in the Proxmox environment. Anyways, whenever you're doing any sort of running any script, you can, even if you don't have your knowledge yourself, you can start put in any of the cloud subscriptions, right? You can test it on ChatGPT, just check what this script actually does. Is it safe? Is there anything you need to be worried about, or should you not be running on, right? Because any script, if it's could be malicious, right? So just want to make sure. I'm not saying this is the one, but just in case, always try it. So we're gonna copy this, and as you can see, there's a lot of different instances or different things are already running. And as you can see, this is not like a beefy server, right? This is like a i7-6700 CPU and 16 gigs of RAM, and it is already running one agent. And even if I run now, it will just install that without any issues. And even it will run, because the Hermes agent, it doesn't require you to have like a really beefy machine. It's the brain which requires like a decent hardware. We're gonna do that. So as I said, because my camera had the issue. Anyways, so as you can see, the container itself is installing, and we'll talk about like the benefits should you be doing, especially if you're a beginner, right? So if you're like new to this, I would say like do not like buy a subscription right at the start. Doesn't matter if you are getting OpenAI and then you're putting funds there, things like that. If you have like a gaming GPU, start from that, right? Then the other thing is like, because when we are running right from the get-go, we are thinking, it's just like ChatGPT. That is not the case, right? So you need to optimize how you interact with these models itself, right? So we're gonna tell yes. Oh, okay. Let's try. We keep. Just gonna try to rebuild it now. Anyways, so what usually happens is, because you need to optimize your prompts, like usually it says it's called prompt, right? So how you interact with it. If you just say, do this, like build me like an app, it will get confused. It will error out. It will tell you, what do you want me to do? It's trying to interact. It's gonna break, right? So you need to get like prompts, and on that you can use like, you will have to rely on other, like you have to rely on Claude, ChatGPT, or any of the other models you can use. So then you refine it. You need to give it like small goals instead of like telling build app, right? So you need to tell it like, okay, I want this kind of app, build this step by step. I want you to do this step, check that is working, then go to the next step, and then give it like a full like a essay of sorts, right? So then it knows what to do step by step, and then it builds for you. That will take time. So whenever you're interacting with what is the benefit though, running locally or using like cloud subscription? When you're running Cloud One, or like anytime you interact with these agents, they burn sort of tokens, right? The currency is tokens. But depending on different models, they use different amounts of token. Depending, like if it's like a frontier model, it's like a really advanced model, the token it burns or uses, it will be a lot higher compared to older ones. Let's say if you're using ChatGPT 3, 4, or 4 mini compared to the 5.5, it's a day and night difference, right? DeepSeek uses less tokens compared to other ones. So the thing is, with this one, you can manage your workload. So if you can run things, you can interact with files, which you want to keep on like in-house or on your system, you don't want to expose them externally, then you'll use this one. And for the stuff which you think, like it doesn't matter that much, you can interact and then you want to work through, then you can just put that on the different models. So you need to find like what works for you. That you need to find out. And especially for starters, do not buy the subscription. Just try it yourself. Give it some time, give it like a week or so or a month or so. When you get familiar with it, then you will know what you need to buy, because these can get expensive really quickly, right? And I'm learning as well. That's what I've noticed. I said, okay, I'll make a video about it. And in some instance, what will happen is just using like a cloud agent like ChatGPT or sorts. It will be cheaper for you, because you have to look at it this way. If you don't have like a hardware, you need to buy like a beefy gaming computer. which will cost you at least minimum, like at this point, $1,000 to $3,000 to pounds, right? Minimum, because if you are looking for 1480 or 1580, that's minimum like 800 to 1500 pounds, right? Just the GPU itself. If you want to get like 32 or 64 gigs of RAM, that's, I don't know what's the price right now, because I was looking at the card itself, Samsung micro SD card, which 1 terabyte, which I bought it for 80 pounds. It's over 300 pounds now. So it's just like, this is not a good time to buy, right? So if you want to learn, I'll say for the start, because if you are buying like a machine which is costing you 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, 2 to 3 years, most likely it will just out at it. If you're paying 20 to 30 or even 50 pounds in subscription, it might be cheaper, even in long run itself. And then the benefit of that is you're always getting the high-end model cheaper. You can do most of your stuff, right? And I'll show you like even uninstall as well, and I'll show you my instance running as well. So like now, as you can see, it is installed. And if you look at the summary, there's a lot of like containers, then VMs are running, but not everything is always using all of the capacity it has, right? So as you can see, there's no that much of CPU usage. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop that agent, and then I'm gonna wait for that to uninstall. Yep. And that's it. It's as simple to install, as simple to download, delete as well. Okay, so we will be interacting. I'll show you how it looks like. So I'm gonna go to Hermes. Okay, so you can give it like command, because as you can see, it shows you. That's where the memory thing comes in play. So when you're interacting with agents like ChatGPT, right? Every time you create a new instance or a new chat, right? It doesn't remember your old messages, so it forgets the context. That's sometimes it becomes annoying, because, and the thing is, like, let's say if you are telling your ChatGPT to run same task 3 times in 3 different chats, right? Because it doesn't have sort of like, it doesn't remember that chat. It will run those 3 times, and then what will happen is you are using you're doing the same task 3 times and using 3x amount of tokens, right? Well, this one, because it remembers the old stuff, what happens is it saves you. If it tells you, oh, you have already done that, this was the answer, so just do that instead of trying to redo itself. So that is a sort of like benefit of it. Okay, so it was already connected, and so there was I was already working on, as you can see, it says Home Assistant Improvement Plan. So this is already connected to my Hermes. Okay, so this is our instance. It shows you like, so what sort of model it is running as well. So we're just gonna say it's just starting up the agent, right? Then if you press Control-C, you can cancel. If you there's like different commands for this. I'll just put the link so you can check it for yourself, right? So it is interacting, and as you can see, it shows you like what sort of model as you're running. So like as you can see here, but the thing is like, one, you can't just download any model and run it. They need to be sort of optimized for this, because and then obviously some has like a limit. So I think Kun was at, and as you can see, the CPU usage, but like it is quite high because the jump now we're using from 22 to almost full. But then if you look at the summary, so even it's not like it is 100%. So as you can see, it's like even with the load, it's like 16 to 20%. So try this on your local machine and then see if you need to get something, build it yourself. There's a benefit though, because you can run it locally, you can keep your data offline. The other one is you can connect this one with already, like if you have subscriptions, OpenAI, you can get the API key from there, just connect that and it will use that. But just make sure use ChatGPT 4.0, things like that. So you're not burning through token. Yeah, that's like a basic idea how to install it. then like you can start and playing with it yourself. If you have any questions, do let me know. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.